Hello and welcome to the United Community Channel. We're back with another match preview, and of course tonight's match preview is the Europa League game against Omonia. Is it Omonia? Is it Omonia? I'm not 100% sure how to pronounce it, but match preview, Europa League, Manchester United versus Omonia FC. Obviously the return fixture in relation to last week's game. It's in Old Trafford. And look, as much as probably we don't want to admit, a quite important game in relation to our Europa League campaign. And in terms of maybe keep momentum within the group stage, obviously the important thing is for United to try everything in relation to actually finishing top of the group. So that's, I suppose, our aim. And I think in relation to Erik ten Hag's press conference today, we can tell, by some of the comments and some of the things that he said, that he is going to be taking this game very seriously, and he's going to be taking the Europa League in general very seriously. He wants to finish top of the group. We want to go straight into the last 16 rather than, going into the last 32, adding more games onto the schedule and things like that. So we're going to get into some of the things that Ten Hag said in his interview today in relation to the upcoming game, who's available, who's not available, how important he thinks the actual competition is. So we're going to get into that. I'm going to give my predicted starting 11 as well. I don't think I think it's probably one of the hardest starting 11s to actually choose. I think Ten Hag's comments in his interview today have probably made it a lot easier, given the fact that he seems to come out and say that he wants to go as strong as possible. But I'll give you what I think the starting 11 is going to be, and I'm going to give you my score predictions as well. So yeah, plenty to talk about. Make sure you smash a like on the video, guys, if you haven't done so already. Tap the screen for us. Anyone watching on TikTok, keep tapping the screen. Gets more people into the chat, gets more people involved. Anyone watching on YouTube as well, you're more than welcome. Cooper, I see you there. Thanks for joining. Make sure you smash a like on the video as well with the thumbs up. So yeah, look, let's get straight into it. We'll talk about Erik ten Hag and what he said in his interview today. Some interesting points from him, and a lot of points that you were maybe expecting to be asked about. But I suppose in relation to the Europa League, it's kind of interesting to listen to Ten Hag today and basically say how important the game is, regardless of maybe how stretched. I'm not going to say that the squad is stretched, but we're looking at potential injuries to Varane, potential injuries to Martial again. We know Donny van de Beek now is going to be a long-term injury, which Ten Hag said today, and I'm going to talk about Donny van de Beek at some stage as well. And Wan-Bissaka is the other one. Exactly, Wan-Bissaka is the other one. So we'll get into that. But Owen says, would you rather not play Europa League? Look, in an ideal world, you'd love to be in the Champions League, but I think it's a very viable option for Manchester United to actually get back into the Champions League next season. Obviously, top four is going to be a very difficult task this year, given, I suppose you're looking at a minimum of 6 teams, maybe 7 if the likes of Newcastle can put an unbelievable run together. So I think it's a viable option for United to get back into the Champions League. So for that reason alone, it's just good to be in Europe, regardless of, I suppose you want to be in the Champions League, of course you do. But if we could win the Europa League, obviously you don't want to be putting all your eggs into one basket. And I think that's what Ten Hag is saying today as well. Obviously top 4 is a priority, but you do want to get some silverware under your belt as well. We're going to make it, says Nefemi. Ashu says, I am the fan of Manchester United. Happy days. What time's the game at? So it's 8 o'clock tomorrow. And Owen says, I know, but when the pool were in it, it was painful to watch until this. Yeah, look, it is. It's not the greatest football in the world, but it's a means to an end. So, like I remember watching United even down through the years with Ferguson in the 2000s. And a lot of the group stage games, now that's when United were at their peak, a lot of the group stage games were actually quite boring to watch. You might scrape a 1-0 win. Ferguson knew that, results were going to come. He didn't have to put out a full squad, and maybe for that reason, But Ten Hag, he did put out a fairly strong squad last week against Omonia away, and I'm glad he did in the end because, we got a result, but it wasn't the easy result that we thought we were going to get. Philip says, what do you think caused the collapse of the Persian Empire? I think you're on the wrong channel, Philip. But yeah, look, in relation to what Ten Hag said today, he was asked obviously about the Europa League, and he said, I told players weeks ago before the break it was important to win the group. We want to win all the games, but it's clear we want to avoid finishing second in the group. And then asked about the starting 11 tomorrow, and if he's going to field a strong team, he comes out and says, we're all out for victory. First game is the most important. It's Europe. It's tough. We want to be number one in the group. So you can tell Erik Ten Hag is going all out for victory tomorrow night. He wants to finish top, and it's good to hear, because given the fixture congestion that's going to happen with the World Cup mid-season, you don't want to be adding 2 more games on to play a last 32 after Christmas. You want to be going straight into that last 16, So, and I'm not quite sure at what stage do teams from the Champions League drop down. Do they drop down into the last 32, or do they drop down directly into the last 16? I'm not 100% sure. So, look, let's see what happens. But yeah, I mean, you would be hoping we will win tomorrow night, and we can look. You would think that it's going to come down to the last group game against who is it? Who else is in the group with us? It's going to come down to the last game, basically, for a shootout for first place. But look, I'm happy to hear the comments like that from Ten Hag, that he's taking it serious. He wants to finish top of the group. On the flip side of that, I would like for some players to get a rest, because there are some players there that I don't think can play every game. Take Christian Eriksen, for example. Now, as well as he's been playing, and this has nothing got to do with the fact that he suffered a cardiac arrest 18 months ago, but I do think he's the type of player that is going to need a rest. Our central midfield, Sociedad, says Brian. Yeah, Sociedad. It's going to be a shootout between us and Sociedad, you would hope, in the last game of the season, or last game of the group stage. But yeah, let's see who's in here. Oisín is in. Good to see you, Oisín. Europa League is a funny one. You never know who's going to drop down from Champions League in January. Absolutely. Brian said, how are you, pal? Great to see you back. How has your week been? It's been great, Brian. Yeah, I had a lovely few days away in Italy, so back, revitalised, ready to go. And I'm actually going to the game in Old Trafford tomorrow night. I'm hitting the road tomorrow morning for the airport. I'm going to get loads of content from over there, so make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel and following the TikTok channel as well, because I'm going to be going live throughout the day as well with breaking news from outside Old Trafford. So happy days and buzzing for it. Twigs is in. Good to see you as well. And Brian says, true, Oisín, some big teams could drop. We might finally see Frankie de Jong at Old Trafford this season, just not wearing our red. Exactly. Any predictions, says Alex. Yeah, I'm going to give you my match predictions at the end of the video. I'm going to run through my predicted 11 and my score predictions as well. Twig says, we aren't winning it though. Barca is coming down. We're fecked. Well, look, let's see what happens. The likes of Champions League clubs dropping down, it's a long way to go before that. You would have a transfer window in between. Can United strengthen? They're obviously, going to have 3, 4, 5 months extra of, playing under Ten Hag, learning how he wants to play, improving all the time. So I wouldn't be writing this off. But yeah, so in relation to potential team news, obviously there is some doubts in relation to injuries. And obviously the main one that we're talking about, and we've been talking about for a long time now, on and off, is Anthony Martial. So Ten Hag was asked today in relation to Martial and has he been training, and he said he hasn't trained today. We'll see how he develops for Sunday. So it looks like Martial, is going to be out for this game tomorrow night. And he was asked then, he was kind of asked, is it frustrating? And Ten Hag says, of course, I want him in. Sometimes it's disappointing when they aren't available because I know we need him. When they aren't, you have to deal with the situation. So you can tell Ten Hag is kind of getting a little bit frustrated as well by it. And, it's not good reading for the likes of Nico says Forza Napoli forever. Good result for you. Just watching it there. So yeah, I mean it's not good reading when you look at Martial's injury record over the last 12 to 18 months. He's had something like 7 or 8 injuries, both medium and none of them have been major injuries, let's put it that way. But each injury he has been a different part of his anatomy. He now has a hip injury, he's had muscle injuries, all of that kind of stuff. So it is certainly frustrating. And I think it is going to determine his future. If he could put a run of 6 or 7 months injury free together, then it would be great in relation to the player himself, but it would also be good in relation to Manchester United if they were looking to, potentially move him on. I mean, what team is going to want Anthony Martial now, say in January, for example, the fact that he's been so heavily injured over the last few months. So if he could put a run together, it's going to work out good for all parties, So, Carl is in. Good to see you. One of our subscribers. Anyone on TikTok as well, guys. If you want to subscribe to the channel, you can do so up above. You get some extra content, a chance to join these lives as well. If you want to join, get your opinions in. You absolutely can, and you get a player as well in our FIFA career mode. You get your name on the jersey and all that. So if you want to check that out, by all means you can up above. We have 6 subscribers at the moment, and we're going for the starting 11, so 5 spots left to fill. Daniel says Cody Gakpo has been on our radar for this January transfer window, fits the system and profile, says Daniel. Yeah, I agree with you, Daniel, absolutely. And I think regardless of how the likes of Martial gets on in relation to staying fit, I think we know we are going to be going in for a striker. Whether it's going to be January, I don't know, or whether we wait to the summer and go all out for it. There's conflicting reports suggesting that United won't basically be spending any money in January and we're going to wait till the summer, and then other reports are suggesting we could go in for Cody Gakpo. So but by all means I do think we need a striker, and I think it's very important that we do bulk up that area, because Ronaldo is gone after this season. He's not going to stick around another year. I would be very surprised if we triggered his release clause and kept him. So it's going to be interesting to see. Let's see what people are saying on YouTube here. Oshin says Barca didn't do a whole lot last year. Frankfurt versus Rangers final Europa is very hard to call. Absolutely. I'm looking forward to the January transfer window, says Twigs. We have a Chelsea fan in, Chelsea 29. You're more than welcome. Twigs says made a mistake sacking Tuchel. Cooper says I also support Eintracht Frankfurt and I hope they come down so we can play them. And Oshin says Omonia are not the pushover we assumed. They'd be strongest team required each game for the rest of the group. Yeah, I agree, absolutely. You can't take these European games for granted. Absolutely not. Because these kind of teams live for these competitions, and playing the likes of Manchester United is something that might not come around for an awful lot of these teams. So I think they do take it very seriously, and that's why they're a hard team to beat. So we should be beating them. They're probably not even. They would be probably lower championship level. So you would be expecting Manchester United to actually go out and win, but that doesn't mean, like the guys are saying here, that it's going to be easy and it's going to be a pushover. Footy said, I just finished watching your FIFA video. I appreciate it, Footy. Thanks a lot. So anyone else who hasn't checked it out, we done our first FIFA career mode last night. We only got 1 game in because I had to do all of that pre-season stuff with training and all of that, which I didn't realise. So for anyone who wants to check it out, you can check out the Twitch channel. It's on the link on my homepage for anyone on TikTok and anyone on YouTube. If you haven't checked it out already, my socials are pinned to the top of the chat. Go over to Twitch and check it out. I also have a highlight reel up on the YouTube channel as well. If you want to just check out the highlights of it, go check that out as well. But I really enjoyed it, I had to say. We had a few of the subscribers in and the guys that have their names on players in the team. So it was very enjoyable. Carlos had an absolute blinder at centre back, and he's a fan favourite already, I have to say. Keep smashing the like button for me, guys, if you haven't already done so. We're going to aim for 5,000 likes on TikTok. Keep tapping that screen. Helps the channel out an awful lot and gets more people into the chat. Last Born is in from Uganda. Big fan. Appreciate it. Thanks for joining us. Is Greenwood back in the squad? Nope, he isn't. But anyway, let's get on to more about what Ten Hag said in his interview today. Just in relation to injuries as well, Marcus Rashford, he was asked in his interview. Obviously, Rashford got a knock, literally the last kick of the game against Everton, and he was asked, "Is he okay?" As Rashford finally said, "Yeah, he's training, no problem." So Rashford is good to go. He was also then asked about Cristiano Ronaldo in relation to the 700 goals and the fact that he's after scoring a couple of goals now and things like that, and with the injury to Martial. Is Ten Hag happy with his kind of progress? And Ten Hag says, look, I want to support him as good as possible. We have certain demands from players, what we expect in certain positions. I want to get the best out of him. He's in better shape now, and I'm happy with that. At the start, it was the case, lack of fitness. It's proven once again that nobody can miss a pre-season. So that's what Erik Ten Hag said. So pretty strong words. Well, not strong words, but pretty definitive words in relation to Cristiano Ronaldo. And I think Ten Hag from the start has made it quite clear the fact that Ronaldo missed pre-season is one of the main factors why he's probably not getting the game time that he would have thought. Now, I do also think that he probably doesn't fit in to the way Ten Hag likes to play, more so than other players within the squad. So I do certainly think that's a fact. But Ten Hag seems to be happy with how he's progressing. His sharpness, his fitness is obviously improving. And look, obviously Ronaldo is going to want to keep on improving these, not just for Manchester United, but for the fact that he's going to want to be at peak condition going into the World Cup in what? 5 weeks? Less? So I think that can only be a positive for Manchester United as well, because a fit Cristiano Ronaldo, a sharp Cristiano Ronaldo, will score goals. He will, and we've seen he scored he had a very well taken goal against Everton the other night, and it'll do the world of good for his confidence. And it's good to see him smiling again, which is always a positive as well. So yeah, but I mean, I'm happy with that. And I'm happy with the fact that Ronaldo has scored. I'm happy with the fact that there doesn't seem to be as much of a big deal about it as there was. The kind of fanfare around when he wanted to leave and things. And look, he's always going to get the headlines. It's Cristiano Ronaldo. He's one of the most famous people on the face of the planet, and he's playing for potentially the biggest club in the world. So it's certainly understandable why the main talking point is always going to be Cristiano Ronaldo, regardless whether it's a big story or not. So yeah, I mean, look, I'm happy with how he's coming along. I do think he's going to have to play more games potentially than Ten Hag maybe would have thought he wanted to play him in, given the fact that Martial can't stay fit. Is Ten Hag going to revert back to playing Marcus Rashford through the middle? Who knows? He certainly played okay there throughout the season. I don't think it's his strongest position. I think he is better off playing on the left, and we'll see that when I do my starting 11 prediction in a few minutes. Anyone I'm watching on TikTok as well, by the way, if you do want to check it out, we're live on YouTube as well. I'll be putting the players, we have the pitch marked out over here, and the players will be put up on the screen, and I'll give you my match score on the scoreboard over here as well. So if you want to check out YouTube, we're live there as well. Link is on my homepage. Go over and check it out. So yeah, let's see what people are saying in the chat here. Rashford is my favourite player for Man United, says Cooper. Yeah, not much going on there. I think there's some of the regulars are having a spat with a couple of the Chelsea fans. So yeah, and I see it mentioned in the chat there, and to let everybody know, so there has been some breaking news in the last couple of hours in relation to a potential sale of the club. Now this is coming from the Daily Star, so we take it with a pinch of salt, okay? but reports have suggested that the Glazers would consider selling Manchester United Football Club if a bid was made north of 10 billion. Okay, now that's dollars, so you're probably looking at anywhere between 8 and 9 billion euro, or sterling, sorry. So look, it's interesting that these stories are coming out. I think it just kind of emphasizes some of the stories that we heard a few weeks back after, the reports of Jim Radcliffe looking to buy the club, and there's other people interested. We heard potentially the Glazers were sitting down and discussing with their solicitors the options of selling the club and things like that. So it's certainly going to be interesting. I don't think it's something that's going to happen overnight. I do, even if the Glazers decided tomorrow, okay, we're going to sell the club, it's not going to happen for the next, you probably 12 months before it happens. So I don't think they're going anywhere anytime soon. I think the sooner, obviously, they're gone, the better. Paul, good to see you. You're more than welcome. Thanks for joining. But I mean, look, like, they will eventually sell the club. It might not be today, it might not be tomorrow, might not be for another 10 years. They can't keep it forever. It eventually will change hands. But I mean, as all Manchester United fans, we want them gone as quick as possible. Aaron says, previewing our Europa League game when Champions League is on, give over. Aaron, you want to change your profile picture, man? You look like you love yourself a bit too much. But yeah, why wouldn't I be previewing the team that I support? I'm watching the Champions League. It's on the TV over here. Don't worry, we'll get back there. Kyle says, Maguire, best centre half on the planet. Kyle, send us some of the stuff you're smoking, will you? I wouldn't mind having a go of it. McEvan says, greetings from Kenya. Good to see you, pal. Thanks for joining us. Let's see what Peter says. Twig says, what's your opinion on the North versus South All-Star game? I mentioned it when it first broke. I don't think it's something that's going to happen. It's not something I would be really interested in. It's a very Americanized game. It would be completely for sponsors to make money that way. And I just think it's irrelevant. I don't think it would work. If you're looking at a North versus South, there has to be rules around how many players from each team can play. Don't get me wrong, I would love to see Cristiano Ronaldo playing with Haaland up front, for that reason alone. But it's not something I would be overly interested in. But yeah. So yeah, what else have we got here in relation to Ten Hag? So yeah, in relation to injuries, obviously we have a few injuries that are going on for a while now. So obviously we have I think Varane is supposedly Varane is training on his own in relation to getting back fit. Again, he's probably going to miss tomorrow night. So I don't think it's a game I would be looking to rush him back to play. Anyway, I think Martinez and Lindelof played quite well against Everton on Sunday, and I think like even say the goal that Everton scored, it was a very isolated incident. United weren't really troubled. Obviously, Everton went all guns blazing for the last 10-15 minutes, but I thought we coped with it very well with Lindelof and Varane. Lindelof won a lot of headers, so did not Varane, sorry, Martinez. Martinez, won his tackles, played the ball out very well, and even Varane, when he came on, won a very good header to take the ball. I think it was Jordan Pickford's head he took the ball off of for one of the last corners. So I'd be happy with that. So I'm not in any hurry to rush Varane back for tomorrow night. Let's give him an extra few days and try get him in for Newcastle, because we're going to have a tough run of fixtures. We have Newcastle, let me double check it here, but I'm pretty sure we have Newcastle, and then we have, are we playing, I think we're playing Chelsea next week, midweek, are we? Let's have a quick check here. So we go, let me just double check. Newcastle, yeah, then we have Spurs on Yeah, we have Spurs on Wednesday night, and then we have Chelsea on Saturday. So it's going to be a tough week. I mean, you look at what have we got Thursday? 3 games in 9 days. So it's going to be a difficult week. It really is. Going Newcastle, Spurs, Chelsea. You're playing rivals all around you, all in the space of a week, basically. So it is going to be a difficult few days for Manchester United. So for that reason alone, I wouldn't be rushing the likes of Varane back. Give him his time, let him get fit. But look, as well, other injuries. The main one I want to talk about was Donny van de Beek, to be quite honest with you, because we're not kind of sure what injury he has, and we didn't know how long he was going to be out for. But he was asked today, night, see you in the morning. But he was asked today, Ten Hag, about Donny van de Beek, and he basically said it's a long-term injury, and he's not going to be back for a while. So, look, to be honest with you, it's kind of the final nail in the coffin for me in relation to Donny van de Beek. I don't think... he would have to get over this injury, and he would have to put a run of games together to keep Bruno Fernandes and Eriksen and Casemiro out of the team. And I don't think he's going to do that. For that reason, I think maybe his time is limited at the club. If it doesn't go in January, I think he could potentially go next summer. And I wouldn't hold it against him going, But reports from ESPN today have suggested that Leicester City are one of those interested in Van de Beek, who has a contract at United until 2025 with the option of another year. And United would want some kind of return on the €45 million they paid just 2 years ago. So reports are already surfacing about Donny van de Beek's future and the fact that he mightn't be at Manchester United for too much longer. So it's going to be interesting to see there. But yeah, look, I was happy with the press conference. I thought he spoke very well, Ten Hag. I think he gets straight to the point. Again, we've mentioned this loads of times. I love no messing around with him. I think he controls the media more so than the media controlling him, which I think is quite good. He's handled the Ronaldo situation brilliantly, the Harry Maguire situation brilliantly about, is he going to be captain and all this. He said, yeah, he's going to be captain. It doesn't mean he's going to be fucking playing, so I think it was great. Let's see what people are saying. Oshin says 3 very, very tough Grahams. Absolutely. Twig says Donny has a cramp on his arse from sitting on the bench too long. Oshin said Donny needs out. I was excited when he came, but just not worked out. Yeah, I agree. What are your thoughts on Phil Jones, says Cooper? I think he's absolutely robbing a living at Manchester United. The fact that he's still there and that he didn't force a move out of the club, he's happy to collect his $100,000 a week. I think it's bad form out of him. I do. I think it's bad form out of him. He's not even registered in the Premier League squad for Manchester United, so that just says it all, But yeah, Oshin says take 12.5 million plus Tielemans. There you go. Could be a deal to do in January there. I think that might be a very good deal. And I never thought about that, Oshin, because Tielemans will go for a free in the summer if nobody buys him in January. So we could say, look, we'll give you Donny van de Beek, give us 10 million with Donny and Tielemans, and he's all yours, So that might be a bad idea. Well, I'll keep an eye on that one. Anyway, guys, we're going to get into the predicted 11. This is my predicted 11, what I think should start or maybe will start tomorrow. Let me know your predicted 11 in the chat there before we get on top of it. Let me know who you think should and will start for Manchester United, 1 to 11. Get them in the chat. And also get your score predictions in as well. I'll give the score predictions after I give the starting 11. So, look, obviously, let me just pull up the players here. Players. So obviously in the goal, I'm going with David De Gea. Oh yeah, and by the way as well, anyone, like I said, on TikTok, if you want to check us out on YouTube, we're putting the players up on the screen as we go as well. So if you want to go over, we're live on YouTube as well. Link is on my homepage. Midges Man says, still disappointed. Donny has never really been given a shot in the position he really needs. Look, I agree with that as well, but I think he's had time over he probably hasn't got time under Ten Hag, but he's been injured. But he had time under previous managers, and he never really stood out. But anyway, in goal, going with David De Gea. Obviously, look, I don't see any reason to change it. And, you know, a lot of these picks that I'm going to give are in relation to what Ten Hag said today in his interview, the fact that he's going to go all out for the win. So I think he is going to put a strong team out. So obviously, look, I'm going with David De Gea in the goal. Right back, again, is Diogo Dalot. I don't see any reason to change him. I would like to give him a rest. I would, because he's going to be very important for us. We don't really have another right back. Ten Hag said in his interview today that, you know, asked that no competition really for right back. He turned and looked at Lindelof, who was doing the press conference with him, and said Victor can play there too. You know, so, but I do see Dalot playing an awful lot. Oshin says De Gea, Dalot, Lindelof, Martinez, Shaw, Casemiro, Eriksen, Bruno, Sancho, Anthony, and Rashford as his starting 11. So yeah, look, I'm going to go with Dalot there. I would like to see him get a rest, but I don't think tomorrow night he's going to get one. I don't think he's going to get one for the foreseeable, to be quite honest with you. Unless, we're not going to qualify top of the group until the last game of the season, or the last game of the group stage anyway, so he's probably going to play every game. Left back, I'm going to go with Luke Shaw. Again, you know, I don't see any reason to not play him. He hasn't played as many minutes as a lot of people this season so far, but since he's come in, he's done very well. So I'd be happy to play Luke Shaw there again. Again, look, I do like Malacia. I do think eventually he's, you know, that left back position is going to be his long term, and I think he's probably going to be our future left back going forward. But it's good to have a bit of competition for places, you know, and the fact that Malacia came in, done well, secured the place, then had a couple of bad games. Luke Shaw upped his act, he kept the position, and now he keeps it again. So yeah, so happy days. And I think Luke Shaw kind of maybe got a bit of a fright about how quickly Malacia started his career at Manchester United, and he said, geez, I need to get my act together here. So yeah, so two centre backs then. I'm going with obviously Martinez and Lindelof. Again, I thought they played well last week against Everton. I don't see any reason to change him. I think, you know, it is an area of the pitch that we're kind of lacking in players at the moment. Varane is obviously out. Maguire is out. So yeah, I don't see any other reason why it wouldn't be the two of them. So yeah, we're going to go with the two of them. In midfield then, obviously I'm going to go with Casemiro as my first central midfielder. Again, he hasn't played as many minutes as everyone else, so I think he is fresher than everyone else. And I don't think, well, like, you would be hoping that this is not an overly taxing game on him, you know, from the centre of midfield. So look, I'd have no problem with putting him in again. I think he played really well against Everton. Obviously, he got man of the match, so I have no reason to doubt why he wouldn't be playing again. I really don't. Midges, man, thanks for sharing the video. I really appreciate it. Keep smashing the like button for us as well, guys. We're trying to get to 5,000 likes on TikTok before the end of the stream. And if you do want to subscribe to the TikTok channel, you certainly can as well. We have 6 subscribers already, and all of them 6 are in our starting 11 on our FIFA career mode. They have their own players in their own positions with their own numbers and the names on their back. We started a FIFA career mode as well. So if you want to subscribe, you get that, and you get a lot of extra content as well. Chance to join the lives and stuff like that as well. So go check it out. So yeah, other central midfield then. I'm going to go with Fred and Bruno Fernandes. Okay, now let me explain. I think Christian Eriksen needs rest. And I think this is an ideal opportunity to give him a rest. We're playing at home. We're playing Cypriot opposition that are not of the highest quality. You know, now, I know last week we didn't do ourselves any favours, you know, and we got the win eventually. But I think we kind of know it now. We know their game. In the space of a week, you know, Ten Hag probably has learned a lot from that game. And I think the players themselves know not to take it for granted now. So for that reason, I think it's a good opportunity to give Christian Eriksen a rest, the rest that he probably does need. And yeah, so for that reason, I'm going to bring in Fred instead of him. So I'm going to bring in Fred with Casemiro, with maybe Bruno just ahead of him. Fred maybe the 8 box to box. Casemiro sitting and Bruno playing in the 10. So that will be my midfield. Let's see what people are saying here. Twig says give it to Dubravka. Oshin says score 2-1 Anthony and Rashford. Chelsea says, by the way, how's blah blah blah. Yeah. Exhibit says David De Gea, Lindelof, Varane, Malacia at right back with Shaw at left back, Casemiro, Fred, Bruno, Sancho, Alanga, and Ronaldo. Twig says, how's your overpriced squad? Oh, they're talking with the Chelsea fan there. Exhibit says needs to rest Dalot and Ericsson. Yeah, I agree. Also Martinez for me to rest. Let's see. Twig says you probably have. Oh yeah, you're talking about Chelsea there. So yeah, so that's my three in midfield. So the three up front then, three up along the front. I'm going to go with Anthony on the right hand side. Again, I don't see any reason to drop him from the starting 11 or to rest him. I think he is. I think he started his Manchester United career very well and he has some good momentum going. So for that reason, I don't see any reason to drop him off. Just let him play. He's young, he's fit. And you would be hoping in this game tomorrow night that we can go out, get an early lead of 2 or 3 goals and bring on some of the young lads after 50, 60 minutes. That's the dream. Let's hope we can get it done. On the left, I am going with... Who am I going with on the left? I'm going with Rashford on the left. Again, now look, Rashford was on the bench last Thursday and came on and changed the game. So look, that may be the case as well. I think he's probably going to get the nod this Thursday. Maybe not. It's going to be interesting to see. I mean, this is probably the hardest predicted lineup we've done this season so far because obviously given the opposition, Ten Hag did come out and say he wants to go strong. But you don't know how strong he's going to go, really. It is at home. I'm going to it. So I hope we put out a strong squad. I hope I get to see Ronaldo playing. I hope I get to see Martinez, Casemiro, these kind of players. I hope they get to play. So let's see what happens. So yeah, I went with Rashford on the left, and I'm going with Ronaldo through the middle. Given the fact that Anthony Martial is going to be out, I think Cristiano Ronaldo is going to get the start tomorrow night. I really do. Obviously, look, he scored on the weekend. He played quite well. You want to maybe build a bit of momentum with him if it was me. Obviously, Ten Hag knows a lot more, seeing him on the training pitch week in, week out. So, obviously, it's up to him. But I think the fact that he hasn't played a lot of games this season, and as well the fact that, Ten Hag has mentioned that, his fitness levels are starting to get to where he wants him, the fact that he missed pre-season. So I think a game like this doesn't do any harm, it really doesn't. Janat says, how long is Martial out? Ten Hag doesn't really give, time periods on injuries. Even with Donny and Wan-Bissaka, he hasn't told us how long. But he did say that he's not going to be basically not available tomorrow night, but we'll see how he is for Sunday. So, we'll know maybe closer. Barney says Martial is an absolute sick note. He is. He reminds you of Darren Anderton, wouldn't he? Playing for Spurs down through the years, sick note. But yeah, that's my starting 11, guys. So David De Gea in goal, Dalot, Lindelof, Martinez and Shaw, Casemiro, Fred and Bruno, and then up front then Anthony on the right, Rashford on the left, and Ronaldo through the middle. And I think that certainly is a team that's good enough to go out and absolutely hammer these guys, And I think we do need to give them a good hammering on the back of last week's performance. So yeah. Let's see what people are saying here. Exhibit says, many players need to rest. Newcastle is tough. After that, we face Spurs and Chelsea. Spurs to Chelsea, only 3 days break. Yeah, so in the space of a week, we play Newcastle, Spurs and Chelsea in 7 days, Saturday to Saturday. So it's going to be a slog. That's why I think it's very important that if we do go strong tomorrow night, and by all accounts Ten Hag is going to go strong with his team, I think it's important that we get an early goal, get a couple of goals, 2, 3 goals even up. And after 55, 60 minutes, whip the boys off, get all 5 substitutes made, get some of the young lads on, and yeah, go from there. Cottle says, evening, when did you do the FIFA? Loved the vid. Cottle, we done it last night, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it every Tuesday and Thursday anyway. Now I won't be doing it tomorrow night because I'm going to the game. But I'm going to try and do it as much as possible. Trying to fit it in, given the fact that I do these news shows and match previews and then watch-alongs and stuff like that. But I done last night's one only on Twitch. Now I don't know if I should be doing it only on Twitch or if I have the option to stream to both Twitch and to YouTube as well at the same time. So maybe I can do that. At least then you guys will know when I go live. But I'm definitely going to be doing it every Tuesday and Thursday night that I am available to do it. Sometimes I actually have a game myself. Barney says, enjoy yourself tomorrow. I certainly will, Barney. A couple of pints. I have this pub that's about 10-minute walk from my hotel that supposedly does the nicest pints of Guinness in all of Manchester. I seen a video on all, and they look Irish quality. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm going to go down, have a couple of pints, and then head out to Old Trafford about maybe 6 o'clock, soak in the atmosphere, get a few, do maybe a live from outside of Old Trafford, and maybe go into the ground, then do a live from the stadium, get team news, things like that, and see where we go from there. But yeah, Tuesdays and Thursday nights, I'll let you know. Keep an eye on best place to kind of find out where I'm or when I'm going live is either on TikTok or on Instagram. Anytime I'm going live or anytime I have anything scheduled, I'll put it up on my story on Instagram. So that's probably the best way of finding out when I go live. But if I do it on YouTube, make sure you just hit the bell notification on YouTube so you'll be notified anytime I do go live. And you can just jump on, because it was good crack last night. I have to say, I really enjoyed it. There was only 4 or 5 on. Again, it's hard to I find Twitch quite hard to promote, if that makes sense. Trying to get it out and let people know that you're live, it is quite difficult. Whereas YouTube, if you just click the bell notification, anyone who's subscribed will know when I go live, and I can put up the thumbnail 5 hours before, so people will see it on their subscription feed and stuff like that. Whereas with Twitch, it's all about just kind of schedule, and you have to stick to the schedule. Then you can't just randomly go live. But look, make sure you're following, liking, subscribing to all the social media accounts. Like I said, all my social medias, the link is pinned to the top of the chat there, or you can scan the QR code on the screen, or anyone on TikTok, link is on my homepage. So yeah, score predictions, guys. Get your score predictions in before I give mine. Throw them into the chat there real quick. Let me know what you think about score predictions for tomorrow night. Let me know, do you think it's going to be a United win? Are they going to draw? Are they going to lose? Let me know. Chelsea 29 says, where you fool ya. Aubameyang. That'll tell you how desperate you are for players, that you go out and buy Aubameyang. Anyway, Amanda says 4-0 to Manchester United. Gerard says 3-0, Rashford double and Anthony. Let's see what other people are saying here. Drain says, I think Anthony will score 15 plus this season. Well, he's certainly started off well enough to to hit them numbers. Let's see what happens. 3 goals in 3 games in the Premier League. It's it's not to be sniffed at. Happy days. It really is happy days. Cooper says 3-1 to Manchester United. Cottle says we'll definitely be there for the next Twitch stream. 4-0 to Manchester United. Yeah, so the next Twitch stream is more than likely going to be, I might maybe do on Sunday. Oh no, sure, we have a game Sunday, don't we? I'll see. I'll definitely be live next Tuesday. Exhibit says 4-2 Ronaldo hat-trick. But yeah, my score prediction, you can see it on the screen, guys. I'm going to pop it up there now. My score prediction for tomorrow night. Ten Hag said he's going strong. I'm going strong too. No goals for Omonia. I think we're going to beat them 4-0. Now, all the Liverpool fans in the chat slagging us about fucking Europa League. You miserable fucking shower of numpties. You're 1-0 down to Rangers. Now, I'm not a Rangers fan, but anyone beating fucking Liverpool is okay in my book. All the Liverpool fans slagging us about the Europa League. You won't even be in the Europa League next year if you keep going the way you're going. Fucking Europa League. Jesus. Let's have a look at this goal. I'm watching it here. Oh, it's a lovely little bit of interlinked play. Oh, and a beautiful finish. I have to say, a great goal out of Rangers. Liverpool are muck. Absolute muck. Ye shower of frauds. Allez, allez, allez. Allez, allez, allez. You're all a shower of frauds. You're never gonna stop. It's great to see Liverpool struggle, says Gerard. It certainly is, my friend. Well, look, before Liverpool equalise, let's end it there. All right, let's end the stream there. Guys, I really enjoyed it. It's been a great match preview. Anyone who's new, make sure you're following, subscribing. If you're watching on TikTok, do me a favour, subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. We're trying to get to 5,000 subscribers before Christmas. The link is on my homepage. It'd really help me out an awful lot. Go and subscribe over there as well. And follow on TikTok for daily Manchester United content. Guys, I'm going to the game tomorrow night. If you're following on TikTok or on YouTube, make sure you have the bell notification turned on, okay? Because I'm going to be going live at random points tomorrow from outside and inside Old Trafford. I might even sneak in some of the game live for you, right? Because I'll be there. So make sure you're following following on TikTok, subscribing on YouTube, turn on that bell notification. I'm going to be in the airport bright and early tomorrow. We're going to get loads of content. I have the power bank ready to go. I have the GoPro box ready to go to make a vlog. We're all set up, ready to rock for tomorrow night. I can't wait for it. Hopefully we get a good win. Hopefully you get to see Ronaldo, Casemiro, all the boys playing. But we won't be live for that. I'll be doing a match preview for the Newcastle game. I'm going to do it... Yeah, I'll do it Friday night. Maybe I might not do it Friday. I might maybe do it Saturday because I'll be tired. But I'll let you know. You'll see. It'll either be Friday night or Saturday night at 7:30. So keep an eye out for it. But guys, look, thanks everyone who's been in the chat, getting their comments in, thoughts. Thanks everyone who's followed, liked, shared, all of that good stuff. We'll see you in Old Trafford tomorrow night, guys. Peace out.